I'm Dena Jennings, and I live in Nasons, Virginia.
I'm Samaria Marley, and I live in Brandywine, Maryland. So I'm a farmer and an herbalist and a musician. I have a family farm in Brandywine, Maryland called Juniper's Garden that I run with my partner. I run a herbal mutual aid apothecary in DC called the DC Mutual Aid Apothecary. We do a lot of educational work and started during COVID giving out like free herbal medicine. So that's a really big part of my life. And I grow herbs. And then for a long time, really up until I had my third child, I was playing in a band and performing a bunch in DC and in Baltimore, playing the guitar, singing, writing songs. So yeah, when I first met Dena, I was like, oh, this is amazing. I first encountered the Gourd Banjo actually at a farmer field day at Carter Farms, and Dena was doing a workshop there. And I like made sure that I was at that table.
When Samaria came to the table, she started working, and the things that she asked me, I said, she's not just here to assemble a, a gourd banjo ukulele. She's here to like learn about instrument building. And just instantly I said, I gotta find out who this person is. And I don't even know how we kept in touch. I think,
I kind of stalked Dena. I will say I like
thank goodness.
found her on Facebook and was like, okay. And then I saw that she was at the Virginia Folklife Festival, and I was in Virginia for another farm day at Southern Exposure, and I was like, I'm driving there. And I went and I saw her, and I think I was like, can I buy a banjo from you? And she was like, you could just build one. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Well, music is medicine. It's healing. It's great for just sustaining you as well as healing illness. I believe that. So the Appalachian On Time Music Gathering grew out of a need for black string band musicians who were going to these festivals, and we all had the same feeling leaving the festival. It's like, where's our place? And after going for about 4 years and knowing people who've been gone for decades, decided why not use the farm to have our own, where we invite black string band musicians and our allies to join us. And that's how the Appalachian On Time Music Gathering got started 7 years ago. And once we met and we started working on banjos together, I said, please, I hope you and your family can come. And they came and folded right in, just like they'd been coming for years. And it's funny because when we're working on instruments, I'll say something and she gets it. And I'll know, oh yeah, well, we can talk about that later. And we never get to the later, but I figure we have a lifetime to do that, right? So we're kind of discovering more and more about each other as we do the detail work of building the banjos. So there have just been so many ways that our lives just kind of fold in together. It's just been really neat. Yeah. The gourd banjo itself is a uniquely American and Appalachian instrument.
I'm going to do a couple songs for you. The first part of this song comes from Addie Graham, Eastern Kentucky, which is where my people are. And I mashed that up with a Ranky Tanky song, the group out of Gullah. So I hope you like it. Been a long time traveling here below. Been a long time wandering away from my home. Been a long time traveling here below to lay this body down.
this can be argued a lot of different ways, but this is my understanding of it. The gourd instruments were made all around the world, and in regions of Africa, the gourd instruments left the continent in the transatlantic slave trade. As ships were waiting in the Caribbean for the winds to be right to bring people to North America, those same instruments got involved in Caribbean instrument making. And so there's some influence there as well. By the time the gourd instrument came to North America, it was in the hands of Black Americans and enslaved blacks for a long time before it was as widespread. Some argue when the gourd banjo actually arrived in Appalachia. I think it arrived earlier than even when most scholars say, because the archaeological evidence is not there. Being made out of all natural things, those things would deteriorate with time. But follow the music, because banjo music has a very specific cadence and tone. And when you follow the music, we've got records in the enslaved songs of the slave songs of North America back to the 18th century, early 18th century, with songs like Down to the River to Pray, which is very clearly a banjo tune. And it comes out of the Tennessee region from enslaved populations. So some argue that the banjo didn't arrive in Appalachia until minstrelsy. I don't agree. Black women who were captured and brought here used to braid seeds into their hair and come here and plant those seeds. And there's no way, I cannot imagine not braiding a gourd seed in your hair. First, it's huge, so you're going to be able to get that and carry it. And all the uses that there are for a gourd, from dipping water to carrying things to making instruments, why would you not bring that with you and then bring it here and plant it?
I don't know if I ever fully understood my draw to playing the guitar and the type of music that I make until I played a banjo. I think I love music. It's been a huge part of my life ever since I was really small. And it was, it's just creative expression for me to play the guitar and make folk music and to play it how I do. But once I held a banjo and played the banjo, I was like, oh, this feels right to me. This feels like the instrument for me. And my hope, at least for my daughter who plays the violin, is that I can make her a gourd fiddle and that will spark some interest in her. And I think with my youngest daughter, my partner is a builder, so she already sees construction and is learning all about buildings, and she's a little herbalist in training. So I also hope that I can pass those things on. And, this is the first banjo that I'm making, but as I make it, I'm I really hope that someone in my family down the line will be playing this instrument and be like, my great-grandmother, made this, and that it can have that longevity.
Every gourd tells a story, from the seed on the vine and how it twirls around to hold itself on the trellis, to the small little dime-sized, grape-sized gourd that starts to grow, and then it just keeps expanding and expanding, and it's just, I don't know, it feels like a gourd tells a story, and then once you carve it and make something out of it, it tells even more of a story, even after it's dried and resonant.